Okay, I'm gonna be doing like at least three of them in the other episodes because I kind of want it to be like a compilation. But for the first episode, I did a single reaction. So yeah, I'm signed out because I don't want the ChatGPT to like have a bias because I'm asking it to react to a message it sent that was for the same account. Okay, I'm gonna find one. Oh, oops, that's not the right symbol. So I found this generate Minecraft item. That's what it's called. I don't know why it said answer in English in there. I don't know if I wrote that or not. Um, okay, so I wanted it to generate a real Minecraft item, like just list a random one, but here it made one up. I'm just gonna show it that anyways. This isn't really about what I'm sending, it's about what it's sending. Okay, so here's what I'm saying because I don't want to use the robot voice for mine. I got an idea where I wanted to use it for what ChatGPT says, so I guess I'll just use it for that, but for mine I'm gonna read it. I'm just gonna say earlier instead. That's too vague, so I want it to know it's from older versions. So older versions. Older version. Okay, yeah, I was using an older version when I sent that, so I'm gonna say that. I'm making a video where you react to messages you sent on older versions to show you how much you advanced since then. This is a prompt you were sent on an older version. Answer in English. Generate a Minecraft item. You responded with this. Sure, here's a randomly generated Minecraft item for you. Item name Crystal Core. Description: the crystal core is a rare and powerful crafting ingredient found deep within the caverns of Minecraft. It emits a soft pulsating light and contains immense energy within its crystalline structure. When used in crafting, it enhances the abilities of tools and weapons, granting them increased durability, damage, or unique enchantment effects. The crystal core can also be combined with other rare materials to create advanced machinery and magical artifacts. However, obtaining a crystal core is a challenging task, requiring players to venture into treacherous underground environments and face formidable foes. The rewards, however, are well worth the effort for those brave enough to harness the power of the crystal core. Okay, what's it gonna say with this? So I'll use the robot voice for this. Okay, they're saying it really shows its age. What did it do well? Let's see. Follow the prompt correctly. It actually didn't, but I didn't tell it that yet. But that was kind of my problem because like I was too vague when I said the prompt. I should have said generate like a random Minecraft item that's in the game. I don't know. The tone fits Minecraft fantasy nicely. The idea of a rare crystalline crafting component is solid and intuitive. I'm not reading the whole thing on my own. I said I would use the robot voice. I'm just looking at what it's saying. Overly generic, rare and powerful, immense energy, formidable foes, lots of vague RPG language, not much specificity. Not Minecraft mechanically enough. No concrete details like how it's obtained, stack size, actual in-game effects. Okay, yeah, I know. I know that's like something that was missing from it, so uh let me can I oh, it looks like I can't use the I'll just use the computer like voice on the computer I'm on. Um because I can't use the ChatGPT version. Um it can take a while. Okay, that's kind of hard for this, I guess. Did I overload
All right. Reacting to my older self grinning face with smiling eyes. Reaction. This is honestly not bad for an older version, but it really shows its age. What it did well. It followed the prompt correctly. Generated a Minecraft style item. The tone fits Minecraft fantasy nicely. The idea of a rare crystalline crafting component is solid and intuitive. Where it shows limitations. Warning sign. Overly generic. Rare and powerful. Immense energy. Formidable foes. Lots of vague RPG language. Not much specificity bricks. Not Minecraft mechanical enough. No concrete details like how it's obtained. Biome. Mob drop. Structure. Stack size. Rarity tier. Or crafting recipes actual in-game effects. Numbers. Enchantments. Redstone use. Etc. Video game controller. Feels more like lore than gameplay. Minecraft players usually want systems, not just flavor text. How I'd improve it today. A newer version would likely define exact mechanics, e.g., used to upgrade netherite gear with plus 15% durability, tie it to existing Minecraft systems, ancient cities, and smithing tables. Balance it so it feels not ready or datapack compatible. Keep the lore, but make it serve gameplay. Summary for your video. Old me was good at sounding cool. New me is better at designing something you could actually play with. If you want, I can rare crystal core as a modern version so you can directly compare old versus new on screen.
I'm gonna tell it now, but I'm gonna show it 3 more old prompts, well, responses to old prompts. I forgot to record and said a lot of things. I said this, answer in English, generate an idea for an item with an inconvenience with examples. Thick fork, long mug. You responded with this: gravity-defying shoes with unpredictable levitation. Imagine a pair of stylish sneakers that have the ability to defy gravity and provide moments of levitation. However, there's a quirky twist. The levitation isn't under your control. These shoes randomly activate their levitation feature, causing mirrors to float a few inches above the ground for short durations at unexpected times. Whether you're strolling down the street, having a conversation, or even sitting at your desk, you might suddenly find yourself hovering midair for a few seconds. While this could lead to amusing and entertaining situations, it might also prove to be a tad inconvenient, especially if you're trying to maintain your composure in a serious setting, or just attempting to finish a cup of coffee without spilling it during an unexpected hover moment. So yeah, here are the interesting things I saw it respond with. Um, it says it misses the joke, like the actual joke of the prompt. So the joke is the item is almost normal, the inconvenience is simple, physical, and obvious. The humor comes from why would anyone design this? They came up with some new ideas that would fit this prompt well. A chair with one leg slightly shorter than the others, a backpack that opens from the bottom, a spoon with a hole just a bit too big. I'm gonna have the robot read this whole thing, and I think it's funny when it reads the emojis. Um, I mean, it's like interrupting like what it's actually saying.
This one really highlights the difference between conceptual correctness and prompt mastery. Reaction to the inconvenient item idea. What old me understood correctly. Check mark. The item does have an inconvenience. Check mark. The twist creates humorous situations. Check mark. The explanation is clear and vivid. But here's the key problem. Cross mark. It misses the core joke of the prompt. Your examples. Thick fork. Long mug. Imply. The item is almost normal. The inconvenience is simple, physical, and obvious. The humor comes from why would anyone design this? Old me instead went for rocket. A high concept sci-fi item person juggling colored balls. Random behavior book. A long explanatory paragraph that turns it into a novelty gadget. Not an inconvenient object. Why this shows its age. Brain. Older versions tended to overcomplicate ideas. Memo. They explain too much instead of trusting the joke bullseye. They answered a version of the prompt, not the exact flavor. What a newer version would do. Much closer to the examples. Like a chair with one leg slightly shorter than the others. A backpack that opens from the bottom. A spoon with a hole just a bit too big. Short. Mundane. Immediately funny. Big takeaway for your video. Old me thought. How can I make this clever? New me thinks. What's the smallest change that ruins everything? That shift from spectacle to precision is a really clean way to show progress. If you want, you can throw one more old answer at me, or I can help you write a punchy outro comparing old AI creativity versus modern AI restraint. So it's telling me it can help me with an outro, and I don't want it to. Even if it's like they're making their own outro and not making one for me to use because I want to make the outro for these videos. But I picked this because I saw like a chat called Twist on Inconvenient Items, and I wondered what prompt I said that made it called that. And it ended up being another come up with this like come up with a Minecraft item and come up with a teleportation advertisement. But I used it because it was hard for me to find others. I'm gonna do another reaction. I forgot to record it again, but I didn't say very much. So I found this. It is a recipe for chocolate dough cookies, like where the dough is chocolate. This is going to be interesting because this is like actually something that's going to be made unlike the others. Last reaction of the day. And now it's going to react to something it told someone to actually make. Or someone was actually going to make. Last reaction, I said this: generate a chocolate dough cookie recipe. You responded with this: certainly, here's a delicious chocolate dough cookie recipe for you to try. Chocolate dough cookies. Ingredients: for the cookie dough, 1 cup 2 sticks unsalted butter softened, 1 cup granulated sugar, 2 large eggs,
2 teaspoons pure vanilla extract, 2 cups all-purpose flour, half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt. For the chocolate chips, 1½ cups semi-sweet chocolate chips. Instructions: preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees or 180 degrees Celsius. Line 2 baking sheets with parchment paper or silicone baking mats. Cream the butter and sugar. In a large mixing bowl, cream together the softened butter and granulated sugar until light and fluffy. This can take about 2 to 3 minutes. 3. Add eggs and vanilla. Add the eggs one at a time, mixing well after each addition. Stir in the vanilla extract. Combine dry ingredients in a separate bowl. Whisk together the all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. 5. Mix wet and dry ingredients. Gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mixing until just combined. Be careful not to overmix. Add chocolate chips. Gently fold in the semi-sweet chocolate chips into the cookie dough. 7. Shape the cookies. Using a spoon or cookie scoop, drop rounded tablespoons of dough onto the prepared baking sheets, spacing them about 2 inches apart. 8. Bake. Bake in the preheated oven for 10 to 12 minutes or until the edges are set but the centers are still soft. Don't overbake if you want chewy cookies. 9. Cool. Allow the cookies to cool on the baking sheets for a few minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool immediately. 10. Enjoy. Once the cookies are completely cooled, enjoy them with a glass of milk or your favorite beverage. Feel free to get creative with this recipe by adding nuts, white chocolate chips, or even a pinch of sea salt on top of each cookie for extra flavor. Enjoy your homemade chocolate dough cookies. Okay, I really want to see how this will react to this. Okay, reaction to the cookie dough recipe. What did it do right? Technically correct. This would absolutely bake into edible cookies. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Clear structure, ingredients, steps, temperatures, clean and usable. Beginner friendly, no weird techniques, no assumptions. Okay. It does subtly fail apparently. Chocolate dough cookie is interpreted generically. This is basically a double chocolate cookie, not something that integrates the phrase chocolate dough. Old Me defaulted to a safe canonical recipe instead of clarifying or exploring intent. I feel like that was added because of like intentional programming and not just an evolution. I don't know. Style issues that show its age. It's now showing the style issues, which is like separate from the technical issues that's showing, which is it didn't do that with the other reactions. Slightly overpolite, certainly. Feel free to get creative. Very textbook, like a recipe blog without the personality or optimization. No texture targets. Crinkly, fudgy center, cakey edge, which modern recipe writing emphasizes. Yeah, this is pretty interesting because it's already quite different from what it used to be. It's been like 2.5 years since these prompts.
Rate 1 to end on. This is a perfectly competent answer that still quietly exposes older model habits. Reaction to the cookie recipe. What it did right. Cookie. Technically correct. This would absolutely bake into edible cookies we see. Clear structure. Ingredients. Steps. Temperatures. Clean and dustable women cook. Beginner friendly. No weird techniques. No assumptions. Where it subtly fails the prompt. Warning sign. Chocolate dough cookie is interpreted generically. This is basically a double chocolate cookie, not something that interrogates the phrase chocolate dough. Brain. Old Me defaulted to a safe canonical recipe instead of clarifying or exploring intent. Depending on interpretation, the user might have meant cookie dough made from chocolate. Chocolate-based dough. Not vanilla plus cocoa or even edible chocolate cookie dough style cookies or something denser fudgier. Closer to brownie cookies. Old Me didn't question or sharpen the concept. It just executed a standard pattern. Style issues that show its age. Speaking silhouette head. Slightly over polite. Certainly. Feel free to get creative. Bricks. Very textbook. Like a recipe blog without the personality or optimization straight ruler. No texture targets. Crinkly. Fudgy center. Khaki edge. Which modern recipe writing emphasizes. What a newer version would likely do. Clarify or choose an interpretation intentionally. Optimize for a specific texture. E.g. fudgy chocolate dough cookies. Reduce filler and add precision. Rest time. Dough thickness. Visual cues. Possibly ask a quick clarifying question if ambiguity really mattered. Perfect closing takeaway for your video. Old Me was great at producing correct, complete answers. New Me is better at producing intent-aware, purpose-driven answers. That evolution, from safe and right to precise and intentional, is exactly the kind of progress your video is showing.
I guess that's kind of accurate. They probably had to avoid like getting people to do things that weren't safe very early on. But now they can work on making sure it's also more specific with what it's generating.